I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly. That's why I say allegedly.
Hold on to your seats, people. This story is going to get really intense, a significant legal. We have a showdown ahead of us, and I promise you won't want to miss a thing. Melania Trump, the former First Lady of the United States, is suing The View's hosts for defamation in a case valued an incredible $100 million. People are already talking about this $100 million struggle, which might upend the media and entertainment industries. Let's examine each aspect of this conflict in detail. First things first, Melania Trump is suing The View's host for some extremely offensive remarks they made about her in a recent show. By explosive, I mean that they've really touched a nerve. This isn't your typical celebrity feud. We're discussing a well-known court dispute that might have long-term effects on how the media portrays public individuals, and Melania isn't holding back. Let's now discuss the specifics of the remarks that started the whole thing. One host, for instance, implied that Melania wasn't particularly thrilled about her role in the White House, and implied that she wasn't happy with her marriage to Donald Trump. Those are some extremely bold claims to make about someone's personal life. During a discussion on The View, the hosts discussed Melania's time as First Lady, and let's just say their opinions were far from flattering. In fact, some of their remarks were downright controversial, if not inflammatory.
Critics are going hard after a liberal media member for vile comments about Melania Trump. The former First Lady appears to signal her support for reproductive rights in a video out yesterday.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
And this take is pretty shocking.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
Wow. I mean, that is violent. They've got to stop talking like that about a former president who's had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, that's just...
However, that wasn't the worst of it. The discussion swiftly descended into a barrage of attacks of Melania's personal decisions and behaviors while she was in the White House. They examined everything, from her position on Christmas customs to her remodeling of the White House. Since you can guess that Melania didn't take well to remarks like these, one host even implied that she didn't care about her part in portraying someone who was bitter and dissatisfied with the demands made of her. I do Melania because
Because I do want to get back to this point with the left and Melania Trump. Why can't she just be her own woman and have separate?
And she can.
And so why all that criticism? I mean, that was gross from The View.
And I
look,
agree.
The View is not the litmus test of America. We don't think that.
They were afraid of that remark. That was their problem.
So why did they handle it that way?
Here's the thing. When these personal accusations were made, Melania was apparently incensed and quickly took action because she is renowned for being a very private person, especially when compared to other prominent people. This isn't just about hurt feelings or a publicity stunt. It's about protecting her image and making sure that damaging and false narratives about her don't spread unchecked. Let's be clear, this lawsuit isn't something you see every day. Melania filed a defamation lawsuit against the majority of The View, claiming that their statements were not only false but also seriously damaging to her reputation. Public figures, particularly those in Melania's position, frequently adopt a more passive stance in response to media criticism. Many decide to make succinct statements or choose to ignore the controversy. However, by bringing this lawsuit, Melania is making it clear that she will not tolerate lies about her character going unanswered. She is fighting for accountability and doing so in a significant way.
These are such vile comments, but they are exactly what The View's audience loves. It's targeted perfectly at a radically feminist, liberal audience that loves hate. Another now. This is loving and tolerant rhetoric the left uses which they accuse the opposing side of using. And this one, those women are a danger to America. They do more than anyone else to stoke political and social tensions. The former president says he thinks his wife should be allowed to think for herself.
However, why is this important? Why is this lawsuit so significant? Well, people, this case is about much more than just a celebrity feud. It's about what can and cannot be said about public figures. It also raises important issues regarding the limits of free speech, media responsibility, and reputation protection. Melania's legal battle may establish a standard for handling defamation lawsuits involving public figures in the future and significantly influence how media outlets, such as talk shows, handle the personal affairs of the people they cover. If Melania prevails in this case, media outlets may rethink what constitutes appropriate content for shows like The View and other major outlets. This could result in a more cautious approach when discussing public figures' private lives, but it could also spark discussions about the potential chilling effect on free speech, particularly when it comes to discussing the lives of those in the public eye. What's even more intriguing is that this lawsuit comes just as Melania is filing her claim. Donald Trump is generating news for entirely different reasons. It's certainly something to consider, but let's take a moment to discuss the remarks that really prompted Melania to take legal action. Some people are already speculating that this lawsuit may be a calculated move on her part. Could this lawsuit be a strategic attempt to shift the media spotlight back onto her? Especially with everything going on in the political sphere after all. Donald Trump's controversies and legal battles are dominating the news, so could Melania's lawsuit be part of a broader strategy to reassert her presence in the media landscape?
Allegedly, he was cheating while Melania was pregnant.
That was all. That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that won't come up.
We're on television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yes.
It's like people should look at him and say, you know, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant. I'm not attracted to her big belly or something. And now she's paying attention to the baby and not me.
The host's assertion that Melania despises her husband and no longer wants to live with him was one of the most shocking moments. Can you think that such remarks are not only extremely hurtful for many viewers, but also deeply personal? It was one of those times when you had to go back and confirm that you heard it correctly. Many folks were left shaking their heads by the outrageousness of these remarks. It's one of those situations where it's quite difficult to distinguish between bad chatter and opinions. The speed at which Melania has moved to pursue legal action has been especially unexpected throughout this entire situation. Melania isn't playing that game. She's going all out and taking the fight straight to court, and with $100 million on the table, it's obvious she means business. High-profile people frequently don't react so quickly. Many would have released a statement or just let it go. Melania is making a very clear statement. The significance of these remarks extends well beyond a small media dispute. They are about preserving her long-term public and personal reputation.
Now you know who has been bragging all over the campaign trail about how he's the one that overturned Roe v. Wade. But apparently, his wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir. Oh. Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth, individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
You now know who has been. What does it imply that he has been boasting along the campaign trail that he overturned Roe v. Wade? But it appears that his wife has different views on reproductive rights. After sharing this video, promoting her memoir, have a look. There is no place for compromise when it comes to this fundamental right that all women hold from birth. Individual freedom. What does my body do? That is my choice. I firmly believe in protecting this idea. Introduction 7. What does this signify for the rest of us, then? This case may bring up some very important issues regarding the relationship between public figures in the media and individual privacy. Can politicians and celebrities expect complete privacy, Or do they have to put up with some degree of public scrutiny as part of their position? Where do we draw the line between defamation and free speech? If Melania prevails, it may alter how the media covers personal stories about well-known individuals, whether they are politicians, celebrities, or even their families. Of course, the case is already receiving some criticism, and experts are forecasting that the outcome will have a cascading effect on the entertainment industry. Some people think Melania is just using the situation for her own fame. Others counter that she's defending her image and attracting much-needed line in the sand. When it comes to what is appropriate in the media, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but one thing is certain. This lawsuit is drawing attention to the complex relationship between media responsibility and celebrity privacy. As the case progresses through the courts, all eyes will be on Melania and the public to see how the legal system handles her claims. This is about establishing a new benchmark for how the media can cover public officials and isn't simply about the money. The drama is just beginning, and we'll be here to keep you updated at every turn. What do you think is Melania's right to sue? Or could this set a dangerous precedent for free speech in the media? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the latest developments. If Melania wins, we could see a huge shift in how talk shows, news outlets, and entertainment programs handle contentious subjects involving politicians and celebrities. This is a story that will be discussed for a very long time, and we'll be here to give you all the twists, turns, and updates. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay tuned and informed. We'll see you here again soon with more breaking Melania news. Take care of everyone and enjoy the view and everything else this breathtaking story has to offer.